What happens when somebody shows up to church with more mags and memory verses? Like for real, okay? I know a lot of us like to think that it will never happen at our church, but that's exactly what happened at CrossPointe Church in Wayne, Michigan this past Sunday. If you haven't seen it, here it is.
A live stream from inside CrossPointe Community Church recorded the moment congregants heard gunshots outside in the parking lot.
Everybody to the back.
Nearly 150 people, many of them children, scattered.
They gotta come on.
Police identified 31-year-old Brian Anthony Browning as the gunman.
So this guy decides that he's going to hurt someone. And so he shows up to CrossPointe Church. And thankfully, a church member that was late to worship actually baptized him with the front bumper of his Chevy. And then a guy named Jay Trombley, who was one of the volunteer security personnel at this church, sent him to meet his maker before the cops could even say shots fired. There were 0 church members hurt because 2 people decided to protect the innocent, and one of them was trained to do it. Did you know that the FBI says that most of these incidents are over in about 12 minutes? 37% of them are over within 5 minutes. 43% are done before the police can even arrive. You are the plan A in this scenario, and you have to be prepared as a church for when something like this happens, because I understand that it is a big if, that the national statistics of things like this happening at churches are very, very few, comparatively speaking, to the number of churches that we have and the number of people in those churches. But we need to think about the fact of when it happens, not if it happens, because if allows us to tell ourselves that we don't have to be prepared. When is understanding that it will happen here. And hopefully, all of our planning, all of our preparation is rather pointless. So here are my thoughts about church security as somebody that's been in ministry for over 15 years and knows their way around firearms and tactics to some degree. Number 1, build a real security team, okay? Have range days, have training scenarios, have times where these men are understanding that they are planning for when this happens, all right? And also understand that matching polos do not stop bullets. If you're going to think about these things, at least take the time and energy to put some of them into practice. I understand that what I'm saying may not fit for every single church. We don't do these things specifically at our church. We have a different plan in place that I'm not going to tell you, because when it happens at our church, we're prepared. Number 2, lock every side door at the very least the moment when church starts. One way in, one way out. That allows the security to understand that the only way a threat can come in this building is through that door. I heard a quote one time that said, "Evil finds open doors like toddlers look for goldfish." And I think that's pretty true. So lock those doors, man. If you can lock every door, then by all means do that. But at least lock every one but one and have somebody who is trained and understands the situation watching that door at all times. Number 3, have medical gear readily available and people who know how to use it. We're not thinking about church security because we have some sort of bloodlust like some people want to claim. We're thinking about it because we want innocent people to be able to go to worship and worship their Creator without the fear of someone coming in and hurting them. That also means that we're going to be prepared to save the life of the person that is doing the violence, because they are made in the image of God. They may have made a stupid decision. They may have made an evil decision, but they're still made in the image of God. And so we're going to be prepared to save the people that are innocent if they are injured in something like this. And we're also going to be able to help the person that made that decision for whatever reason. That decision is not up to us to determine why they did it in that moment. The decision is ours to make sure that we're protecting life at all costs. If your security team doesn't know how to work a tourniquet, you're going to be planning a funeral hymn for somebody, and I don't want to see that happen. Now, let's talk about the theology in all of this, okay? Nehemiah 4, verse 17 talks about how the Israelites are back in Israel and they're rebuilding the wall, and they have a hammer in one hand and a sword in the other. Why? Because they understood that security was important. I understand that some of my brethren, some of my preaching brethren, don't want to hurt someone. They take a more pacifistic approach to life. I fully understand that. I support them in that decision. But at the same time, there needs to be people who are willing to stop the wolves so that the sheep can worship their creator. Those people who are pacifistic in their mindset and in their theology, by all means, stay that way. I don't want you to change one bit. But those of us who are thinking about these things, who are willing to take that risk, as it were, to protect the lives of innocent, need to be able to do so in a way that we can be efficient, that we can actually help people in the moment where they need to. Now, listen, I get that you can't have a perfect plan for every situation. I understand that every church is different, and so your plan may look different than anyone else's plan. But at the very least, you should have a plan.